Traveling abroad isn't easy as it used to be. And so why not let the professionals guide you to your next destination on this Travel Tuesday?
Travel the world with Elite Global Journeys, the Valley's luxury travel experts.
So where in the world is Craig Mungary, owner of Elite Global Journeys? Craig, thanks for joining us today. All right, I'm really jealous of where you are, so tell us where you are today.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks. I'm sailing down the River Seine, just outside of Paris. We were actually at Monet's Gardens earlier this afternoon, and it's a beautiful day in France.
Craig, you live a charmed life, my friend. Okay, before I ask you about the cruise and what you guys are doing, let's talk about COVID protocol. So the changes might have people feeling a little confused. If you do want to visit Europe right now, what do you need to know?
You know what you need to know is that you need to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated with both shots. It must be an approved vaccination. So right now, most of the countries are accepting Moderna and Pfizer, and you must be at least 14 days out from your second shot.
Okay. So that's great information, because I think everybody thought, Americans couldn't go overseas, but that's not actually true, because you're there and you're having a great time. What has changed so far for people traveling through Europe? What do we need to keep in mind?
Well, it's very complicated traveling right now. I will tell you that. So that's one of the great things in working with our office, and our Elite Global Travelers are assured that we will make sure all of the details are taken care of. We have to get government approvals. We have to get our travelers QR codes. We have to get lots of little details that we must take care of and that you must have to make sure that you're allowed to board the plane, to make sure that you're allowed to visit the areas. One of the great things going on here in France is that anytime you go into a restaurant or you go to sit down to have a coffee at a sidewalk cafe, you have to show proof that you are vaccinated. So something much stronger, much more stringent than we're experiencing in the US.
Yeah, so a little bit different of an experience, and it's great to have somebody like Elite Global Journeys, because you guys have a contact everywhere. It's like you're all over the world, so you can check in and see what the rules are and how people can prepare. Now to the good stuff. Let's talk about the river cruise. For people that don't know, what is a river cruise? We think of ocean liners when we think of a cruise. What's this river cruise that you're on?
So what's fantastic about a river cruise is, as the name expects, they cruise the rivers of Europe. And so, as many people may or may not know, the rivers of Europe are much like highways in the United States. They're used for transport and for all kinds of necessary transportation to the whole European continent. So these ships go right down the rivers, right into the middle of the towns, and then they just pull over and park. And it's amazing.
I have always wanted to go on one of these cruises because the lodging looks so cool. Like, you open up your sliding glass door, or you open up whatever, and you're right there on the river. So what are some of the activities? What do you guys do?
So the wonderful thing about a river cruise is the activities are what you're doing in the destination. So you're virtually in a city inland for the entire day, and then the ship just moves at night. Like this evening, we were all day today at Monet's Gardens, spending the day in Genevieve, and then we got back on the boat at 6 p.m. and now we're sailing on to our next destination. So it's perfect. We'll get to have dinner aboard the ship and have a nice evening of rest, and then we wake up in another town.
It sounds so relaxing. So the first time I went to Paris, I was like so intimidated by the train, and we were running all around, going to different places where we were staying. This sounds so relaxing. And then you get to see the really big attractions, and you feel like you don't miss anything. So let's talk about the river cruise that you're on is AmaWaterways. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, it's the AmaLira is the name of the boat.
And where do they travel? Where do they sail to?
So this particular sailing takes off from Paris, as you mentioned, and our furthest point away was the beaches of Normandy region. And so we spent 2 days out there, and you're so right. That would take a train trip of several hours from Paris to get there, and then you're discombobulated because you don't exactly know the train for sure you're supposed to be on, and this makes it very simple. You just board the vessel, and they take you, and then you're right in the middle of where you want to be.
I absolutely love this. One day I'm going to take one of those river cruises with you. What about on the actual vessel? What kind of health protocols are they taking?
So on the vessel, anytime you're inside, you are required to wear a mask. They are running at a reduced capacity, so only 70% of the ship can be occupied by passengers. So the nice thing is these ships only hold 140 passengers. So on this particular ship, we have like 60 people on board, the entire ship.
So I'm sure people, you could go and I guess schedule or book a river cruise yourself, but what is the difference when you book through Elite Global Journeys?
Back to my point, right now, traveling abroad is extremely complicated. And by working with us, not only do you get extra benefits and perks, but you also receive our knowledge and our expertise and our assistance in coordinating and handling all of the paperwork and all of the necessities that you require. The COVID testing that has to be done, all of the paperwork has to be sent in and uploaded to the various government entities prior to your arrival so that you can have the permission to board. All of these things, we take care of those. And that's all at no cost to the traveler because they're going to pay the same price for the trip, whether they book through our office or whether they book directly calling the river cruise company.
Well, I can tell you, as I get quote unquote older, when I was younger, I used to want to do it all myself. I wanted to book, I wanted to find the place because I felt like, I had the knowledge. And now that I'm older and wiser, I know I do not have the knowledge and I should probably just leave it up to somebody else. Okay, before we let you go, can you show me like a little panoramic tour of where you are and what you're looking at in the ship?
I would love to.
Okay.
Let's stand up here just a little bit and have a look at the.
Oh my goodness, we're looking at France.
Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous, and you can see that we're just cruising calmly through the river, and it's the sun is about to start setting, so it's a magnificent scenery.
Well, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Craig Mungary, we'll have all the information about how you can get in touch with Elite Global Journeys. Craig, thanks for being here and happy sailing to you.
Thank you, Emily, for having us, and wonderful that we could bring this to you guys live.
And you can call Elite Global Journeys at 559-431-7440 and visit their website at eliteglobaljourneys.com to get planning today. And we're back after this.
When you want to explore what surrounds you, when you want to reconnect with those you love, the essence of luxury travel can be found with a free consultation at Elite Global Journeys. Redefine luxury. Push boundaries. Experience perfection. Explore the world your way. Call 431-7440 to schedule your local consultation with Elite Global Journeys.
Character matters. It's the foundation.